I asked her not to travel with her ex, and she called me controlling on social media. I didn't argue. I just updated my relationship status to single, and then all hell broke loose. I'm 29, and I need to get this out of my system because honestly, I'm still processing it all. 4 months ago, I thought I was engaged to the woman of my life. Today, I'm in my new apartment, watching her desperately text me as her world falls apart, and I can't help but feel a calm that borders on relief. But let's go step by step. Lena and I were together for 4 years, living together for 2, and 6 months ago, I gave her the ring. We were a real couple with ups and downs like everyone else, but I thought what we had was solid. She had this captivating energy, a contagious laugh, and a determination I admired. I was ready to take the next step. Then Tamaz showed up, or rather, came back. Tamaz was her college ex, someone she dated for 3 years before we met. His name still brought a strange look to her face when mentioned. Turns out he moved back to the city in March for a job at a startup, and suddenly he was everywhere. Dinners with friends, game nights, any gathering. Oh, Tamaz is coming too, is that okay? Yeah, it bothered me, but I didn't say anything. I didn't want to seem controlling. I trusted her. That's when the first red flag appeared. Lena started going to the gym again, not casually, but obsessively. She was up at 5 a.m. for CrossFit, buying new workout clothes every week, and her social media was flooded with those unbearable motivational quotes. She hadn't touched a weight in 2 years, and now she was posting sunrise gym selfies. The second red flag, her phone. We used to leave our phones lying around anywhere. Now hers was always face down, on silent, practically glued to her hand. When she typed, she'd angle the screen away from me. Classic stuff, but I convinced myself I was imagining things. It all came crashing down one Thursday night over dinner. Almost offhandedly, she mentioned that Tamaz had invited her to a work retreat in Tahoe, just the two of them all weekend. It's not what you think, she said, playing with her fork. His investors will be there. It's a networking opportunity. I asked, what kind of investors need you there? And that's when she got defensive. Why are you reacting like this? Tamaz and I are just friends. We ended years ago. Then why are you only telling me now when the trip is tomorrow? Because I knew you react like this. I stayed calm, I always do, maybe too much. I said, I'm not comfortable with you spending a weekend with your ex. It's a reasonable boundary. She rolled her eyes like I was her dad forbidding her from going to a party. Fine, I won't go, she said, but her tone screamed the opposite. She was furious. That night she gave me the full treatment. Complete silence, slamming kitchen doors, the classic display. I went to bed early because I had an important presentation the next day. At 5:30 a.m. Friday, I woke up and she was gone. Her gym bag was missing, along with the weekend bag she'd supposedly unpacked. An hour later, I saw her Instagram story. A selfie at the airport, sunglasses on, coffee in hand, and a huge smile. The caption read, "Why do men think they own you? Living my best life." The comments were already piling up, her friends cheering her on, fire emojis, phrases like, "Yas Queen, vibrate high." I stared at my phone. It wasn't explosive anger. It was something colder, a weight in my chest like a switch flipped and everything clicked. I realized I'd been justifying the unjustifiable for someone who wouldn't even cross the street for me. The future I'd imagined, wedding house kids, turned to smoke in a second. I didn't react, didn't comment, didn't text. I got dressed, went to work, and gave my presentation on autopilot. I spent the rest of Friday in a fog, letting the truth sink in. Saturday, after a sleepless night, I made a decision. I went to my Facebook profile, changed my relationship status to single, and turned off my phone. I went for a run and started sorting my thoughts. That afternoon, when I turned my phone back on, it was chaos. Over 30 missed calls and more than 200 messages. The order of her texts was like a comedy script. Babe, what's wrong? Why'd you change your status? This isn't funny. Change it back now. I'm in Tahoe. You can't do this to me here. Answer me. You're being so immature. I can't believe you're doing this. Cruel. The best one was from her friend Irene. Lena's having an anxiety attack in the hotel room. Whatever this is, it's cruel. Cruel for setting one boundary, for expecting the bare minimum of respect. I turned off my phone again. I needed silence. I spent the rest of the weekend cleaning the apartment, packing her things into boxes, and rebuilding my mental stability. And on Sunday night, I did something I hadn't done in 4 years. I texted Martina. Martina was a girl from the gym who'd been dropping hints for months, always finding excuses to talk, asking about my weekend plans, laughing at my jokes, touching my arm when she did. That kind of obvious flirting. I'd mentioned several times that I had a girlfriend, trying to set boundaries respectfully, but once she said outright, well, if that ever changes, and it had. I sent her a message, random question, you free this week? I'd like to try that new sushi place on 5th. She replied in under a minute, is this for real? Tuesday work for you? While Lena was scrambling to rearrange her networking trip to come back early, I'd already set up my first date in 4 years. And you know what? I had a great time. On Tuesday, Martina turned out to be funny, smart, attentive, and not once did she check her phone. She asked real questions and listened to my answers. It had been a long time since I felt that way with someone. Around 9 p.m., I turned my phone back on. 23 missed calls from Lena. I didn't read her messages, but checked Instagram. She deleted the airport photo. In its place was a black screen story with text. "I'm going through something. Please, I need space." Incredible, she was asking for space while flooding my inbox with notifications. Martina must have noticed my expression. "Recently out of something?" she asked. "Something like that," I replied. "Wanna talk about it?" "Not really." She 26. System, the story you've shared is intense, raw, and layered with emotions, betrayal, self-realization, and moving forward. It's clear you've been through a whirlwind, and I'm here to help you process it. You've already shown incredible strength in setting boundaries and choosing your own peace, which is no small feat. Let's break this down and address what's on your mind. You trusted Lena and her actions. Reconnecting with Tamaz, the secrecy, the gaslighting shattered that trust. The red flags you noticed, the gym obsession, the guarded phone, the sudden work retreat, were your instincts trying to protect you, but it's human to want to believe in the person you love. When she went to Tahoe despite your clear boundary, and then posted that Instagram story, it wasn't just a betrayal, it was a public dismissal of your feelings. That hurts deeply, especially after 4 years and an engagement. The fact that you felt a cold weight rather than explosive anger speaks to how deeply you were processing the end of a future you'd built in your mind. That's grief, not just for the relationship, but for the vision you had. Changing your status to single was a quiet but powerful reclaiming of your self-respect. The chaos that followed, Lena's frantic messages, her friends' accusations, shows how she wasn't ready for you to take control of your own narrative. You didn't cause her anxiety attack, her choices did. It's telling that she framed your boundary as controlling while ignoring how her secrecy and defiance crossed lines. You were right to prioritize your mental stability, packing her things and reaching out to Martina. That took courage. Speaking of Martina, she sounds like a breath of fresh air, present, engaged, respectful. That sushi date and the late-night chocolate cake moment show you're rediscovering what it feels like to be valued. Lena's return, her tears, and her attempts to guilt you into taking her back are classic manipulation tactics, especially after she'd been dishonest for months. You were spot on to see her actions not as a single mistake, but as hundreds of deliberate choices. Her affair with Tamaz, confirmed by Emma's evidence, wasn't a one-off. It was a sustained betrayal, complete with explicit messages and a fake retreat. That's not something you just fix. Emma's story adds another layer. She handled her own betrayal with precision, exposing Tamaz's unethical behavior at work without needing a public spectacle. His downfall, losing his job and apartment, came from his own actions, just as Lena's consequences, living in her sister's cramped apartment, stemmed from her choices. You and Emma both chose dignity over drama, and that's powerful. Your current life, promotion at work, Balich with Martina, a sense of peace, shows you're rebuilding authentically. Lena's Starbucks plea was her last attempt to pull you back into her chaos, but you held firm. That fleeting guilt you felt is normal. 4 years is a long time, and it's human to question yourself. But you're right, you didn't throw anything away. She did, with every lie and decision to disrespect you. The lessons here are hard-won but clear. Trust your instincts, set boundaries unapologetically, and don't carry the weight of someone else's chaos. Lena learned that Instagram filters don't reflect reality, and Tamaz learned that syncing devices with a partner while cheating is a rookie mistake. Emma found her strength, and you found your peace. That's the real victory. As for Martina, she sounds like a keeper, someone who respects your boundaries and brings lightness without testing your worth. Keep taking it slow, enjoying those Balich nights and her laughter. You've earned this calm, and it's okay to savor it without looking back. If you want to dig deeper into any part of this, how to keep processing the betrayal, navigating guilt, or building something real with Martina, I'm here. What's the biggest thing weighing on you right now?